they commit violent crime at a rate that's 135,000% higher. Let's compare two different cultures because it's such a good point. It's not so much about the race, the ethnicity, as it is the culture. There are 39,000 Japanese citizens who live in Germany. Can we agree Japanese people are not white, right? They're Asians, right? It's a different nation, different ethnicity, but a culture that is, I would say, incredibly honor-based, incredibly excellence-driven, right? Out of 39,000 Japanese citizens in Germany, 2 of them were ever suspected of violent crime in 2023. Now, there are 25,000 Algerian citizens living in Germany, right? So there's 30-ish% less Algerians than they are Japanese in Germany. But out of 25,000 Algerians, there are 1,729 of them who are suspected of violent crime in 2023. So they commit violent crime at a rate that's 135,000% higher than the rate that Japanese immigrants commit violent crime in Germany. So that's exactly the point. It's not the ethnicity, it's the culture.
Analysis.
Now, that right there is exactly how racists think and process information. To a racist, every difference, whether it's in crime rates, income levels, or education, must always come down to someone's race, their culture, or their religion. That is their default lens. But here's how a normal thinking person processes the same information. First, you ask, who exactly are these immigrants? What's the caliber of Japanese migrants that Germany typically admits? Are they mostly professionals, doctors, engineers, researchers, postgraduate students? And what about Algerian migrants? Are they largely people coming in for lower wage jobs like cleaning, delivery driving, or fruit picking? Next, you look at Germany's immigration policies. Maybe Germany actively recruits skilled workers from Japan, while Algerian migrants arrive mostly through asylum or refugee pathways, often without guaranteed jobs. Then you consider proximity. Japan is thousands of miles away, while Algeria is right across the Mediterranean. That means it's much easier geographically and economically for people from Algeria to seek asylum or migrate irregularly.
German lawmakers are pushing for tougher rules for asylum seekers coming from Morocco and Algeria, with plans to set up one-stop reception and deportation centres from which they could be quickly expelled from the country. The move comes as the government is being criticised for its open-door refugee policy after hundreds of women were robbed and sexually assaulted on New Year's Eve in Cologne. The change in attitude has been criticised by human rights organisations.
And finally, think about economic context. Japan's economy is far wealthier and more stable than Algeria's. So naturally, Japanese migrants are more likely to come from higher socio-economic backgrounds, while Algeria